Increase your brain capacity. For any intensive program, whether it is a work project that is complicated or it is a learning program, you need to use your brain capacity to the fullest. You need to understand that a brain has two different capacities. One, storing capacity, and another is processing capacity. Storing capacity is where we store all the memories and knowledge, everything that we have and use often. And the processing capacity is the things that we are focusing on now, processes we want to build, or tasks we want to execute, or anything that we are creating is in processing capacity. Although storing capacity is huge and you can even learn 10 languages without problem if you put your mind to it, if this is your goal, and you will be able to store the knowledge and use these languages fluently if you want. And there is almost no limitation to storage capacity of a human being. No one has reached it so far. But there is a problem with the processing capacity. It depends on if you are neurodiverse or regular person. Your brain can work differently in this area of processing power. There is a limitation to your processing power. You can only think about one thing at a time. Although we can multitask and we can even do 15 things simultaneously, but unfortunately we are not able to focus at all those 15 things simultaneously. What our brain does, it switches between the tasks very fast. So you think you are multitasking and keeping it all in your mind, but your brain is switching, and this might be the reason why you feel fatigue and irritation, especially if you are overwhelmed. You are working on something where you have to multitask and someone comes to chat with you or to ask something. You might feel irritation because there is a lot of stress in it. And that's why many people that are onboarding in intensive programs, they are afraid of this stress. And we're going to be able to get rid of this stress by organizing our mind. Multitasking is not bad, but you need to know how to use it. For example, you can drive a car and think about your projects, for example. Or maybe you can drive a car, listen to the music and think about something. So these are the three tasks that you are doing simultaneously, and your brain is switching between those tasks. But imagine you are worrying about some problems. You are thinking why your kids are not studying well in school. You are thinking about what you have to buy for dinner, or what you will cook for dinner, or you are thinking about you forgot something to report to your boss, or things like this. Many things are in your mind. Sometimes you can even be occupied with what other people said about you, why did they behave like this, and all this is in your mind simultaneously, and you're switching between those tasks, plus driving, plus listening to music, plus trying to resolve problems. How effective do you think it is? I don't think it can be effective. If you want to use your time effectively, you need to learn to put all your thoughts on paper, on external devices which will carry this memory. You don't need to have them in your mind. Do not use your capacity, your brain capacity, to think of things like, let me read some thoughts that you might have. I have to book an appointment with the dentist. I have to think of my kids. I have to visit my kids' school. I'm tired. I think I can't keep up with the program's goals. I have an idea for a book. How do I write a book? No one is gonna read my book. I need new shoes. I have to write my boss about the rise. I have to talk to my husband about our relationship. I need to buy a gift for my wife's birthday. I don't know what to give her. When is her birthday anyway? We're 20 years together and I still don't remember when her birthday is. What's wrong with me? I need to do all these tasks. They are too much. It's overloading. When is the time for the tax report? By the way, can I make a course about making taxes in UK properly? I'm good at it. How do I even do a course? All this is in our mind. So what do you need to do? You take paper. You take a paper. You don't do it on your phone, and you're not doing it on your other digital devices. There is a reason for this, because subconscious mind is very much connected to the writing because of how we were schooled. What I have just read you is how the thoughts are whirling in our minds, and many say that this is how women think, but it's not true. Anyone in stress, anyone who is neurodiverse, like ADHD or person on the autism spectrum, are going through these things, and this is about unorganized mind. So we are dealing with how to organize our minds right now. And by the way, if you have an ADHD or you know you are on autism spectrum, I can give you some advices in this area. You can book a free consultation with me specifically for this topic. I can advise you how to be effective in this condition. Let's talk about how to organize your mind. Number one, use your brain capacity for the purpose. Number two, write down everything that is in your mind on paper or other device, but we start with paper. Number three, deal with the problems and questions and everything that is in your mind steadily and consistently. And we will talk about how to do it practically. So I will demonstrate to you how am I writing down all my thoughts. You don't need to be very organized and even think about how to write it. You just take a paper. Preferably you create a new book, new journal for this. And this journal will be only for writing out these tasks, but you are not going to write them out as it would be your journal or diary where you write where you think. No. You write it in a way of tasks, and I will show you later how to do it. But first I want to demonstrate you that it's actually something that I practice. So I took this notebook, and I actually started writing down everything in this notebook, all the thoughts, everything in form of tasks. So you can see and like this, I'm working on my tasks. But let's talk about how to write down those tasks and what to do with them later. We will all discuss this, don't worry. So to explain to you how to turn your thoughts into tasks, I will show you example with the same thoughts I was reading to you before. And my virtual assistant is going to read it for you now.
Thoughts. Tasks. I have to book an appointment with the dentist. Schedule a dentist appointment. I have to visit my kid's school. Arrange a meeting or visit to your kid's school. I am tired. Plan some self-care and rest time. I think I can't keep up with this program's goals. Review and adjust your goals for the program. I have an idea for the book. Outline the idea.
So you see, you have to write down all thoughts, but in the form of the task for yourself. And you don't just rush and do it, even if it's just create an appointment. Sometimes create an appointment can take 15 minutes, and to write it down, it is maybe 5 seconds, I don't know. So just write it down and free up your space of your mind. Do it on paper, do it like I've done, short tasks. It has to be short tasks, and you don't do anything, you are just writing down. You must have about 100 or even more tasks. Just 100 tasks is okay. Unless you are a very busy person and you have many kids and many responsibilities, you might have even more tasks, but minimum is 100. Important thing is don't negotiate with yourself whether it is important or not. It is in your mind already. It is occupying your brain capacity, your processing power capacity that you can use for something creative, to find solutions, to actually resolve problems. So write it down, don't negotiate with yourself, don't hesitate whether it is important or not. We will look at it much later. So what to do with what you have written down? You have to take your marker and mark everything that is quick to do and to get out of your life. So you can see, you take the marker and write everything that is easy to do and fast to do. It will take you up to like 15 minutes or okay, maybe 30 minutes. Or if you have to group those tasks in one day and do them all together, that's a good thing as well. Add all this to your calendar, everything that you have written, everything that is marked as fast to do, and get rid of it so that it doesn't come back to you anymore. You don't need to focus on these things anymore. But if you don't do these small tasks, you will always come back to them. Don't worry when you are doing them. You are not wasting time. You are not doing something ineffective. You are cleaning up your processing power for better work. That's very important. Many people have been taught about effectiveness and productivity that you have to eat the frog first. But you know what? I discovered that it doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for many people, because while you are trying to eat your frog first, you could do many small things and just get them out of your way and have your brain free for thinking. Our task is to have a processing power free for thinking, free for solutions, free for creativity. That's why it's important. And this will boost your productivity, of course. And because you will be doing those small tasks, it will boost also your self-esteem. And you see, productivity is a learned skill, and it starts with small tasks. You have to train yourself with the small tasks. Just like jumping, you don't jump, like if you want to jump high, you don't jump starting from 2 meters as Olympic champions are doing. You have to start with 30 centimeters, whatever you can do. So you have to mark everything you can do and do it, and try to do it as soon as possible to get rid of it. Now, number 4, take different marker and mark other things with different color. What we are going to mark now? We're going to mark projects and ideas that can be turned into a project, to something that you will create. We want you to become productive. It means you have to produce something to find solutions. And that's why for productivity you need to mark down those tasks that are related to creation of new product, building solutions, etc. And you need to write them down in your project journal. Project journal is going to be already a digital version, so you are taking your tasks to a digital version. You don't need to go and type it in your digital document. There is a tool that allows you to convert your handwritten tasks to your digital media. So don't worry about like repetitious job. Don't worry about this. I want to bring you an analogy to understand which tasks belong to which group. So the small tasks that are disturbing you, that are fast to do, imagine them, they are like birds inside your room. So room is not for birds. Birds, they have to be outside and flying somewhere in the freedom. When they are in your room, they are doing a lot of mess. You know, they're making poop, they are flying and breaking everything. That's what's happening to you when you have all the small thoughts in your head. That's not the place for those small things. But the big ones are like your sheep, like your cattle, let's say. And you cannot just like open the doors or open the windows and let them out. You have to take care of them. And the big ideas, the big projects, anything that requires many steps. Imagine this is your sheep or your cattle, and you have to take them to the pasture. You need to ensure they will take some fat, you know, and they will look good and they will be healthy. So your large products, they have to be counted, and that's why you are bringing them into the specific file for project management. And we can say project management, it can be business projects, but not always. Sometimes you want to do a renovation in the house, and it's going to be your project as well. And it's also like a sheep that you have to take care of. And that's why it's going to be always also in your project journal. And if you want to divide to your personal and your business projects, you can do so. Now, what are remaining are in-between tasks, and those in-between, it says for itself, they are not going to those quick tasks, and they are not going to those important tasks related to creation of something, etc. So you don't know what to do with them. So you delegate them. You delegate them if possible. If not possible, leave them hanging there in the same list, in this document that you, in this note that you have created, and you will return to them and revise anytime you will be planning your some kind of period of time. With time, you will understand that you are ready to streak them through. You will understand that you are not needing them anymore. You were holding on to them because you thought you wanted it, but time changes and you understand you don't want. Leave them hanging. But because you have written them down, they are like already in the process of making decisions. They are not in your subconscious mind. They are not worrying you. Sometimes in between tasks are your processes, something like you have to do repeatedly. For example, you want to be fit, and you need to have a routine for your fitness. You need to have a routine for your eating habits. You need to have a routine for your exercise, and this is a process. This is not something that like you can streak through that is done. So you have to do the following: turn them into quick tasks, into series of quick tasks or steps. For example, if it's about fitness, you can have a task: find a fitness center. Maybe try different fitness centers. Check out if these fitness centers are good for you, if the company is good for you, if you like people who are going there, if the atmosphere is good. You know, just plan to do it throughout like maybe 3 months. Go into different fitness centers. Those are small tasks that are clear how you can start doing this. And we will talk about systems that you can create around your routine tasks to achieve results, also in the same training in subsequent videos. So don't worry about those tasks that are hanging. We will figure it out as well. So to finalize all this lesson about how to free up your mind, you have to take out of your conscious all the thoughts that can be converted to tasks and deal with them. And you have to have at least 100 in the list.